Tale of Pigling Bland. Once upon a time there was an old pig named Aunt Potatoes. She had four little girl pigs named Crosspatch, Wee One, Yock Yock, and Spot. And she had four little boy pigs named Alexander, Pigling Bland, Chin Chin, and Stumpy. One day Aunt Potatoes said, "It is time for all of you to make your way in the world." So all her piglets, except Pigling Bland, rode away in the cart. "Now, Pigling Bland, take these work papers to the market so someone will hire you. Stay away from the traps, hen roosts, and bacon and eggs. Remember to always walk upon your hind legs." Aunt Potatoes gave him a little lunch and 8 peppermint candies, and then she waved him on his way. Pigling Bland trotted down the road. To pass the time he sang, "This little pig went to market, this little pig stayed home, this little pig had roast beef." The song made Pigling Bland hungry, so he sat down and ate his lunch, every bit. He ate 2 of his 8 peppermints, too. After his rest, Pigling Bland walked a little further. He came to a sign that read, "To market, 5 miles, over the hills, 4 miles." Pigling Bland thought he would never get to the market before dark. He decided to take the shorter way over the hills. He walked and walked. It began to grow dark outside. The wind whistled and the trees creaked and groaned. He took several wrong turns and was soon quite lost. He was frightened and cried, "Wee, wee, 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 I can't find my way home." Finally, Pigling Bland saw a hen house. He scurried inside. "What else can I do?" asked Pigling. "Bacon and eggs," clicked a hen. "Trap, trap, trap," said the rooster. To market, jiggity jig," clucked another hen, a red one. Just then a man came to catch 6 chickens to take to the market. His name was Mr. Piperson. He caught a white hen. Then he saw Pigling Bland squeezed up in a corner. "What is this?" he exclaimed. "A pig, just right for bacon and eggs." He grabbed Pigling Bland and dropped him into a cage. Then he dropped in 5 more smelly, cackling hens. Pigling Bland was nearly scratched to pieces. At last Pigling Bland was lifted out of the cage. "What a find!" said Mr. Piperson. "You can sleep on the rug in front of the fire." In the morning Mr. Piperson made oatmeal. He poured it into 3 bowls, one for himself, one for Pigling Bland, and one was for Mr. Piperson. Glared at Pigling, so Pigling looked away. Mr. Piperson opened a closet door and walked in. He came out without the third bowl of oatmeal. He gobbled down his own breakfast and left for market with the 6 hens. Pigling went on tiptoe to the locked door. He sniffed at the keyhole. All was quiet. Pigling pushed a peppermint under the door. It disappeared immediately. Pigling pushed the rest of his peppermints under the door. When Mr. Piperson returned that night, he made more oatmeal. Again he took a bowl into the closet, but he didn't shut the door carefully. When he locked it, it didn't really lock. Then Mr. Piperson went to bed. Pigling Bland sat by the fire and ate his supper. All at once a little voice said, "My name is Pigwig. Make me more oatmeal, please." Pigling Bland nearly jumped out of his skin. A lovely little black pig stood smiling beside him. She pointed to Pigling's bowl. He quickly gave it to her. "How did you get here?" he asked. "I was stolen for bacon and hams," replied Pigwig, with her mouth full. "Stolen!" exclaimed Pigling Bland. "Oh, how terrible! Why don't you run away?" "I will after supper," replied Pigwig. After she finished her second bowl of oatmeal, Pigwig got up to leave. "You can't go in the dark," said Pigling Bland, But if you wait till morning, I will help you run away." They agreed to wait until they could see the first light of day. With that taken care of, Pigwig settled in for a good night's sleep. Poor Pigling Bland was nervous. He stayed awake the whole night, sitting in front of the fire. He sat there listening to make sure he could hear the snores Mr. Piperson made while sleeping. They left early in the morning. The sun rose, and from the top of the hill they saw a bridge. They knew they'd be safe once they crossed it. Pigling heard a noise. A grocer was coming along in his wagon. "Leave the talking to me," whispered Pigling. "We may have to make a run for it." He pretended to be hurt and held Pigwig's arm. "Two little pigs, just right for bacon," said the grocer. "Do you have working papers?" Pigling handed him up his papers. "These take care of you," said the grocer, "but they do not say anything about the girl pig." He saw a farmer plowing a nearby field. "Maybe she belongs to that farmer," the grocer said. "Wait here till I ask him." The grocer drove off. A hurt pig could not run away. "Now, Pigwig, now, run!" cried Pigling Bland. Never did two pigs run as fast as these pigs ran. They raced and squealed and pelted down the hill toward the bridge. Pigwig's petticoats fluttered, and her feet went pitter patter pitter. They ran down the hill. Do you think they'll get away? They came to the river. They came to the bridge. They crossed it hand in hand. Then over the hills and far away, Pigwig danced with Pigling Bland.